Hello everybody, today is Thursday. This is Thursday's video for August 22nd. And so it's just about 6 p.m. here. I'm just getting around to recording today's video. It's a lot of work to put all this stuff in the spreadsheet, so I'm not recording the videos usually before market close like I have in the past. Anyway, this is our website. If you want to find out about the Autotrader, go to our website and there's plenty to read here. If you need to contact me directly, here's our contact information. So I'm just going to highlight some of the winners for today, and then I'll show the spreadsheet and you can see both the winners and the losers. Okay, in the past I've talked about this trade off the open range, and here we have it literally in both directions. So right off the open, the US Open, we have a long, this is on the 34 tick line break chart, and this chart has been very, very consistent, done really well, surprisingly well. So I wouldn't rule out line break charts. This particular chart appears to work very well on the DAX. Now keep in mind, we've been running the spreadsheets now for a little bit over a month, perhaps, about a month, and really all that gives us right now is a very short-term view, but certainly for the past month, some templates, which is a group of settings, are emerging to be more consistent than others, but that is also confirmed by our now 780 videos. You can go back in time on our videos and you'll see these charts over and over and over again. So I suspect that once we get some long-term results for the spreadsheet, we'll see kind of what I had suspected, that the charts that I know to be consistent without having a spreadsheet are in fact consistent, and this is one of them. So if I tighten up the view here a little bit, we can see the second trade. And so this was 20 minutes after the open, and this basically allowed us to hit our goal. So we had two winners here, and this chart is having a very strong week. In fact, so is the DAX. And the DAX has, again, proven it's one of the most reliable markets to trade with the Autotrader. Okay, here's the DAX on a Super Renko 6 tick with our step moving average and open range filter. And this had a losing trade to start, and the drawdown was about 200 on a single contract, and then it came back with that kind of trade that's kind of similar, although not right at the open, but a half hour after the open. This came back and not only recovered its loss from the first trade, but this single trade here brought us all the way to our goal of 475 or 500. The goal in this is 525. So obviously we had a couple of ticks of slippage. We use a market order when we hit our goal. So all in all, still very good on the Super Renko 6. Okay, this chart continues to impress. This is the E-mini S&P on just a regular 2 Renko chart. And this also had a trade right off the open range here, and then a winning trade on the long side, and then this short trade brought it up to its goal. So this is a single contract. It did 350 for the day, and the goal on this is 375. But this has been very, very good. The E-mini S&P on a regular 2 Renko with a higher time frame filter of Super Renko 6. Okay, this is a Super Renko 4 tick with a Super Renko 8 tick as the higher time frame. You can see that here. And this is trading 2 contracts with a goal of 750. And so we had positive slippage this time. The first trade was split. The first contract was a winner, and then the second one was a loser. So net, it was a winning trade altogether, in spite of one of the contracts losing. You can see the equity curve here. And then this second winning trade here, coincident with the higher time frame, brought us up to our goal. So this was really good. We went from basically 100 to 825 on the second trade here. Okay, this is the E-mini S&P on a 1597 Heikin-Ashi chart, and this had a mixture of trades today. There was two losers here, but it only drew down $100. Remember, a single contract. And then this winning trade brought it up to about 400, and then this small winner right here brought us up to our goal. I think our goal on this is 500. Indeed it is, so just shy of our goal. And also keep in mind the time of year. This is the third week of August, so volume is light in the summertime. I expect to see a pickup of volume and volatility once we get past Labor Day. Okay, here's that open range trade on a DAX 987 Heikin-Ashi tick chart, and the trade itself doesn't look like much distance here, but in the scheme of things it is, because this huge drop in the market. Had we had much larger targets and just let it follow the precision trend, really fantastic signals on the BWT trend indicator here. You know, this was a very, very big trade had you rode it all the way down. But anyway, a single contract did 587.50 just on this move here, and that trade was finished within about 20 minutes off the U.S. Open. And the goal on this is 450, so we actually had pretty nice positive slippage on this trade. Now this is a classic example of that open range breakout to the downside trade that in a couple of videos ago I showed about a dozen examples of this exact trade, and here it is again on the E-mini S&P 987 Heikin-Ashi tick chart. This did 400 for the day. Our goal on this is 412.50, which I did on purpose, so if we got to take a slippage, we do 400. And this is just as good as it gets, a fully automated trade right off the open here. And I think with this one, yeah, it's just a few seconds after 9:30 right here, so just a beautiful trade. We're ignoring the precision trend as an exit. By default, the auto trader would exit on blue bars, but we have that unchecked. Nor could we go long here because it was under the open of the session. So really nice trade. A 987 tick, Heikin-Ashi 987 is a Fibonacci number, so you'll see very often I use 377, 987, 150, 1597. Those are Fibonacci numbers, and I use them in the charts. Very important to find the right time frame to trade on your chart, and this 987 on the E-mini S&P, on the DAX, and on the NASDAQ all work very, very well. Okay, speaking of 1597 and Fibonacci numbers, this is the E-mini S&P with a 1597 Heikin-Ashi chart as the higher time frame filter. And this did 462.50 for the day. I think the goal on this is, well, it's 450, so we had one tick of positive slippage. Trading a single contract, this had a loser here, and the drawdown was just a little over $100. And then there was a winner here, and then another winner down here against the higher time frame. So the higher time frame filter in the auto trader, once again proving its effectiveness. As you can see here, the higher time frame filter keeps you from having a whipsaw based on our logic. You know, the auto trader logic allowing it to go long if you have blue bars here. We didn't take these longs because the higher time frame did not go long. Okay, a modest gain on the DAX 150 Heikin-Ashi tick chart, and obviously this got stopped out too soon. There was a lot left on this trade, but this still did. It basically hit its target, but I could have had a much bigger target here. So the target here is 500. I suspect we went down on this bar somewhere, and we just had, poor slippage with our market order because it didn't trade again after this. So Anyway, still respectable. This has been a really good performing chart, really consistent on the DAX 150 Heiken Ash. Okay, a beautiful open range trade on the DAX Super Renko 6 tick with the Step MA filter. A single trade here did 387.50. Our goal on this is 550. So again, some poor slippage on this. It didn't trade again, so I suspect that's what happened. Okay, a beautiful open range trade. I'll call this the classic open range trade right off the open of the crude oil, and riding this move down in spite of some of these retracements. And this did 490. The goal on this is 500. I know that for sure. So one tick of slippage and a beautiful trade that, you know, if you were trading this manually, this is the kind of action that your emotions get the best of you, because, you know, you're in the money and then the market goes against you and it starts to come back, but it really doesn't make it that far, and then it comes back against you again. And, you know, by the time you get here, you're just happy to have something. And then this move occurs and you end up hitting your target, and most people just can't hold the trade that long, even though this would have only been about a 49-minute trade, 50-minute trade. Okay, this is a chart that I have often commented is one of the most consistent setups we have on the E-mini S&P Super Renko 4. This is the one with the 6-tick higher time frame, and this did 387.50 on a single contract, and the goal is 400, so we had one tick of slippage trading one contract. Very nicely done here. Notice I have the target at 16 ticks, and that's because very often you get about a 4-point move like this, and yeah, indeed it is. It's about a 4-point move here. Then you get a retracement, so that works out pretty good. Basically takes two winning trades like this, and you hit your goal. Okay, the crude oil on a Super Renko 6 tick using our line break logic. The crude struggling a little bit this month. Normally the crude is pretty decent, but it's been mixed this month. Anyway, this chart having a winning day today. You can see the trades. Single contract finishing at 460, and the goal on this 500. Okay, fairly active on the NASDAQ 150 Heiken Ashi tick chart. And there's quite a few trades here, but interestingly enough, drew down quite a bit here, almost got stopped out, so the drawdown was about $400. And then it came back right at 10 o'clock. All these trades here, you can see the equity curve, there was 5 or 6 winners in a row, and it recovered from its drawdown and hit its goal. The goal being $500 and a 500 loss limit. So it came within $100 of getting stopped out and ended up hitting its goal. So again, talk about emotions. You know, by the time this happened here, your emotions would get the best of you and you'd probably throw in the towel. Okay, so here is the spreadsheet for the week, and you can see today's performance here. Yesterday, several charts had some problems and did not show the full gains here or losses, so I basically salvaged what I could. And then the weekly results. I just want to remind everyone that it is the 3rd week of August, and there's not full participation in the market. What I mean by that is full participation of professionals trading. So I would expect to see an increase in volatility and volume after Labor Day. What jumps out as is here on the spreadsheet this week is the DAX appears to be really solid, as in previous weeks. Really strong gains on the DAX. Again, the DAX here and here. So the DAX remaining, and always has been, one of the best markets to trade. Still a lot of consistent charts in spite of the losses here, relatively small, you know, for a week, and then several charts showing consistency and nice gainers here. Most of the E-mini S&P charts last week were just spectacular. I mean, only one losing chart in the E-mini S&P, so take your pick. Anyway, we've only been tracking the spreadsheets for a short time, so this is giving us statistically short term, but of course a look back on our nearly 800 videos now will confirm many of these charts' consistency, as some of these charts we've been trading for a very, very long time, and particularly in the DAX. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching.